So today I'm gonna swap this Predator 212 Hemi onto that go-kart. I already put a VM22 round sled off of an old project on here. I literally just built this engine with parts I have in my garage. Cast aluminum flywheel, VM22, governor took out, whatever. I have a stock 224 on this go-kart, but I'm bored, and I have a, I guess, stage 1 212. So I'm gonna take off this clutch and then unbolt the engine. Kill switch isn't hooked up to the like frame, go-kart, whatever. Unhook the throttle cable, take off the throttle cable so I can hook up that one. Then I'll just bolt that engine onto here with the 4 bolts down there, put the clutch onto it, hook up that throttle cable, figure out some kind of kill switch because the kill switch on that engine was broken out of the box. I don't know, it was just like that. So yeah, I'll try to video all of it. I don't know. This is one of my first like YouTube videos. Okay, I'm gonna take out the throttle cable. I can't record while I do it, but to do it, you hold that nut with the 10mm wrench, turn out that screw with the Phillips head, turn out this screw with the Phillips head, just pull out the cable. Then here, the crank bolt. The one I got it from Tractor Supply. It's a 1/2 inch head, but the threads are 5/16 by 24 to hold the clutch onto the crank. I just found some miscellaneous washers in my garage. Pretty much anything works. That was concerningly easy. Hey, it'll be fine. Anyways, I need to take it off, so. And then here, I have a spacer. This is for a CVT. Put it on here just to space the clutch away from it a little bit. And then, to take off the clutch, find the master link, take that apart, and then take the chain off. I'm literally holding my phone with my legs right now, so hopefully it works good. But you can kind of take the pliers and just pop off this outer clip. There's probably actual videos like specifically about doing that if you've never done it before. It's not very difficult though. And then this part here, just kind of have to take it off somehow. I don't know. They usually come off easy. I don't know why this one is so difficult. Again, I'm just holding my phone with my legs right now, so it's like not the best. I need to get a holder. Bro. Wait. I've never struggled this much with the master link. Okay. It works, I guess. And now, it just, this one part, take that out. Make sure you don't lose these parts. Chain comes off like that. Just pull off the clutch. Also, people argue that these clutches go on like the right way or the wrong way. You can put it on that way, or you put it on that way. Just whatever works for your application. There's no wrong way to do it. Again, you can put spacers on this side or this side of the clutch to space it further in or out so it lines up with the chain, you know. Then start taking off the engine. Hopefully that wants to work. I'll just put a wrench on there. You can kind of get the idea of how that works. Just take out those 4 bolts. The one there, and then on the back side, 2 there. Okay, well, apparently my phone wasn't recording, but I just took out the 4 bolts that hold the engine onto the frame, you know, and engine just comes right off, you know. Put the 212 on here. I need to bolt it up, and then this wire comes from the coil. I deleted the oil sensor. The kill switch was already messed up out of the box. I took it out the box, I flipped it to on, and the entire switch just fell off. So whatever. This is the only wire you need on a go-kart. You just hook this wire to like a switch. I'll put a switch right up here. So you run this wire up to the switch, and then you run a second wire from that switch back and hook it to the block somewhere to ground it out, so that the power travels from the coil through this wire to the switch and then back and grounds out on the block, instead of the power going through the spark plug wire and grounding to the block that way. You know what I'm saying? So like, pretty much the power is bypassing the spark plug wire and instead flowing through the kill switch wire, causing it to not have spark. So a little tip, after you put all 4 bolts in, leave it loose so the engine can move around freely. Because after you put this clutch on, you need to put the chain on, and you move the engine back and forth to, like, you know, tension the chain. You don't want to have it too loose or too tight. Have to loosen it back up, move it, and then tighten the bolts back up. So just keep the engine loose, put the clutch on, put the chain on, and then worry about tightening it. Makes sense. Also with these crank bolts, you really want to like give it like 4.5 ugga duggas. And make sure it's on there good, because like they like to come out while you're riding. Either fly at you or fling a clutch at you, a chain. You know, it's just really not good at all, usually. Okay, so I'm back to holding my phone with my legs, so I'm just like fixing my go-kart, but you kind of run the chain over the clutch like that, and this part. You take it here, and then, see, that's too short right now. That's why I left the engine loose, so I can wiggle the engine around, adjust it. My chain is tweaking. Put that like that. When you go put this little plate on, make sure it's clean, because if it has dirt and dust on it, it'll sit further from the chain link and make it like not fit good. So just keep that in mind. This little clip as well, make sure it's facing back, because when the chain moves this way, if it hits anything, it just forces it on there better, instead of like ripping it off and sending your chain flying into orbit. I've had many chains just like go missing because of that. Like that. Also, these things, I put this one on like on and off a few times, makes it easier. When these clips are brand new, they're pretty difficult, so if you get fresh chain and you're like struggling with it, it's not just you, it's actually the chain just being difficult. Now, don't mind my fingers in the camera. I'm gonna tighten up the 4 bolts, now it's good. And I just hook up throttle cable and kill switch. So I got the engine completely bolted up, solid. This throttle cable is like not at all set up how it's supposed to be. If you see that, it's very custom, but I mean it works. So like, it's good enough for government work. So I guess I'm gonna take this bolt off and take off this hose clamp, and then just pop out that cable and put this one in and do the same thing, sadly. So I ended up taking it for a little ride. My buddy will be here in a minute with a kill switch I can use, but it did pretty good. Of course, I don't have a way to kill it. It wasn't running the best, so it just kind of cut off at idle. But that's just because I have the idle really low. And it did great. I have the throttle cable set up. Seems decent enough. But yeah, It's actually a lot of fun with the engine setup like this. Just the VN22 Governor Delete with the cast aluminum flywheel. Now this engine is kind of a Frankenstein because I had a blown up non-hemi. Well, blown up. Not really blown up, but you get what I'm saying, like not running. Because the oil dipper came off the rod. Took out the crank, whatever. Crank was almost in new condition. So I put it into this brand new engine, a non-hemi crank. I took the aluminum flywheel off of that non-hemi and put it onto this. Pretty much I swapped the crankshaft and flywheel out of a non-hemi into this hemi, just because I already had the parts. And it does great. But besides the carburetor and the flywheel is completely stock. I need to get a different exhaust for it. I took the baffle out of this exhaust just for a little bit more noise, you know. I just ran a bolt into that hole. And I did the same thing for the other governor hole in the back of the block. For the oil sensor hole, I also did that. Still need to get a switch for this. It's a great swap though. I got the solid axle on the rear. I got the race slicks on the front. Doesn't steer good at all. It's a whole lot of fun though.